If we were bringing in a team of athletes and they did the Symmio opportunity first, we'd already know who we were movement screening first and who we were balance testing first and who we were talking to about sleep and nutrition first, because all that is sorted out. So literally not just coming at movement problems with exercises is refreshing, because that broadens the scope of my practice, both as a coach and as a therapist.
And one thing you see on this timeline, Gray, is this thing move to perform. And we don't talk a lot about it, but it's kind of that hidden gem. It's kind of that Intel chip in our system that has been heavily researched. It is an algorithm that puts you in an injury risk category. And it looks at movement among other things, like your recovery from an injury, your injury history, and some other lifestyle factors that we can put you in a high to low risk category. Well, we used that when we did this Symmio to do the same thing. So definitely something that's been heavily researched, we don't talk about, but it's allowed us to continue to expand a lot of what we're doing.
Let me give a little credit where credit is due. Dr. Phil Plisky and Dr. Kyle Kiesel looked at the Y balance test and were able to get an injury risk prediction looking at Y balance test. They were doing the same thing with the FMS. When they overlaid movement patterns with balance proficiency, the world changed. Then all of a sudden, if we take that same thing and overlay self-care and lifestyle over your motor control and fundamental movement patterns, we literally get a GPS that allows us to see people who respond very quickly to intervention, who respond slow and steady, or respond not much at all to intervention. So we actually know where to direct their care, where to create their advice, their programming, if you will. But I've never seen that before, where most people want to talk about one element, or they want to talk about sleep, breathing, or exercise. When we overlay everything, the priorities rise right to the surface and make us look like we just did way more than ask you to do a 15-minute self-appraisal, you know?
Well, and that 15-minute self-appraisal is made up of these things: your movement, your behavioral health, your injury history, your breathing, physical activity, body comp, sleep, and nutritional awareness. So we're capturing, at minimum, the things that we need to determine your functional wellness. Now, there's obviously other things, Gray: your strength, your power, your cardiovascular endurance. Those are other things we need in fitness. But at minimum, to function and be in what we would consider functionally well, these things need to be at the appropriate level. You don't need to have all these things that you're showing on the screen to be great, but don't have a lot of them bad.
Well, a lot of people will ask me a strength or performance question, but they will also admit to pain and poor sleep. Well, let's put performance over here until we get the pain and sleep managed, because really it's a house of cards. So I find that a lot of people who want to talk fitness or performance have just accepted the fact that they sleep poorly, they have to have a little bit of knee pain or something like that. And literally, me personally, going back through this appraisal after a pretty invasive neck surgery made me really be aware of some blind spots. I knew my sleep wasn't great, but I thought it was good enough. It wasn't even good enough. And literally making that a priority changed my fitness level and changed my recovery. And if this is my profession and I'm blind to it, I think it speaks to the statistic that you and I have often found, where health and fitness professionals often score the same, if not sometimes worse than their clients, because we're so busy helping other people that we forget to follow our own advice or take a holistic approach. This forces that, because it brings your holistic blind spot right up to the dashboard and says, yeah, I know you want to do better 5K times, but I think sleep and hydration are a big part of that. And we're right. It is, whether we apply it to ourselves or not. But this is a heck of an opportunity to look at movement one layer out and really see everything line up. It's not a map anymore. It's a GPS.